It's May 16, 2026, and I'm about to walk you around our Fremo layout at the depot in Duluth. We're going to start this tour out at the Summit Loop. Summit is a module set that's been around a while. It was built by Darren Voorhees with help by Guy Tonder, and currently is being taken care of by AJ Murphy. Speaking of loops, AJ has built a loop set where the modules can be connected together to form a single track entrance loop, or they can be taken apart and run independently, and we're using it in that exploded version here at this meet. So this is one of those modules that's part of AJ's sort of city loop. I don't know what he calls the whole loop, but that's one of them. And then City Junction is another one. If you've seen walk around videos before from Duluth or Minnesota or Silvis, you've seen City Junction, really cool module set. This is a junction module owned by Ted Mislinski, who isn't here with us right now. But this is Egondale. It's a simple junction. And then more of AJ Murphy's loop modules, Skeeter Street Scrap, and then Dougie Avenue. And then we've pressed one of the older modules in AJ's collection into service here. This is Allied Waste, and I know AJ at some time in the near future wants to update this one, but it's working great for us here. We're on the other side of the Egondale Junction from where we were before, and from there we enter more of the city loop modules of AJ's through here. This is kind of an urban part of the layout, all from the base of the junction at City Junction all the way through here. This is Overpass Curve. And then we get into Valspar, which is a module I built 25 years ago. This is my very first Fremo module, Bob Sterner here. AJ is currently the owner, and he and John Zacharias have done a little upgrading of the scenery. This is a brand new module owned by Hennepin Overland, and their member Mark Galadowicz is here with us today. It's just a simple 22.5-degree curve, obviously scenery yet to come. This is Acme Manufacturing and provides a short runaround for us on this little branch line. And this is a fun one. This is Big Lake Oil, owned by Dean Lehman. And this one started out smaller, but Dean has extended it in ways that I think make this module a big improvement over what it was before. And he's obviously still working on the scenery, but you can really see the potential here. And then an end cap module built originally by John Zacharias, now owned by Dean, and this is Burger King. Okay, we are back at City Junction. We saw this from another angle a little bit before. I'm going to turn now, and this is a brand new module making its first appearance here. It's a 45-degree curve built by Andrew Dagenhart, and it's heading toward being a grain elevator module. From there we enter another one of mine. This is Trout Brook Staging Yard, very plain appearance. My concept was to have the trains enter and leave the staging yard through some kind of a bridge or something as a quote-unquote visual block for staging. I'm not sure that makes much difference, but anyway, we have bridge modules at both ends. Then this 8-track, basically simple ladder staging yard with the wedge piece that goes through. Neglected to mention, it was more obvious from the other side, but my inspiration for this little highway bridge was a famous railfan site now gone in Minneapolis called Hole in the Wall. Trout Brook doesn't look like much, but it has some pretty fancy electronics underneath that sometimes gives me fits. Then the other bridge module at the end of The staging yard is this one. This is Dinky Town. Believe it or not, Dinky Town is the real name of a real place. And it's gone now, but at one time it had this 2-story McDonald's located near the University of Minnesota campus. And I used to walk by that McDonald's every day years ago when I was in school. So it was fun to build that. Gets a lot of comments. Entering a curve now that's double track scenery. We start with Wayne Manor, which is one of Tom Crisfield's modules. And then I'm going to have to show you this from the wrong side, unfortunately. So I'll give you a little view here. There are 3 modules in a row that all have some kind of pond or wetland. So it's kind of like the Everglades here. This first one is called Frog Pond, which also is a real place near here in Duluth. This one's owned by the Hennepin Overland, as you can see on the sign here. And then the second one, similar to that, is also a real place not far from here, Frog Pond. I'll just try to give you a little better view of the pond area. That's going back through the curve. And then turning around, the other wetland module is mine. You may have seen it before. This is my module, Marsh, which has, I call it 10 feet of botany. Double track main, straight, just basically runs through scenery and designed so that trains have a kind of a visual backdrop for photography purposes, because so many Fremo modules, you have a really distracting background, and I tried to get away from that here. And perfect timing by Jeff to come through on the module as I'm talking about it. Here's another brand new one built by this individual right here. This is Brian Howell. When you have a problem with the weather forecast around here, you can just write to Brian and tell him what you think. So he's got this module, double track, with a grain industry coming off of it called Durham FS. What does FS stand for again, Brian?
Farmer Supply.
Farmer Supply.
I got the logos that'll go on there.
All right.
At some point today.
Look forward to it. Another Tom Crisfield module. This one's a little bigger with more going on. This is Sydney, New York. Kind of a small town, vintage dated module. And Tom is ops chief here at this Duluth layout. And he's put together, I think, a really sweet little plan where we're doing a lot of work out of the 7th Street Freight House. I'll show you that in a minute. This is also by Ted Mislinski, a module that goes back a long ways. And he built this one long straight passing siding called Farmington. And each piece of it, of the 3 pieces, could be used independently. And so here we're using one piece of his long passing siding, Minimo standard, so it's much narrower than a typical Fremo module, but that makes a perfect little duck under for us. And 2 of Jeff McCaffrey's modules now. First one is Deep Cove. Also, I would just consider it vintage dated, sort of steam era scenery, Deep Cove. And then Brian Mackert has loaned us, he's not here with us, but he's loaned us a couple of signal mows. There's MP12. And then Jeff McCaffrey's other module of the 2 he brought. This one is called Sullivan's Leap. I've never asked him what Sullivan's Leap means. I'll have to find out. I hope it doesn't mean something about this bridge, but maybe it does. This is the Division Street Junction. That is a Ted Mislinski module, and I'm not sure who did the scenery here. A short runaround, and it goes down. I'm not going to walk down this branch. These are modules you've maybe seen before. We have The Cut, and then the very famous The End by A.J. Murphy at the end there, and I will give you a little better view in a minute. Entering another A.J. Murphy curve module here, and then a second one. He calls this one Scenic Curve, and then a famous straight viaduct, prototype location in Pennsylvania. This is Mark Galadowicz's Kimball's Viaduct, which has pictures all over the internet. Brian's second signal mow. This is MP9. There's Dean right there with Diana. And then 2-to-1 transition module, cleverly called 2-to-1. And then the layout ends here at this module set, which is mine, 7th Street, a real location in St. Paul. I'm dating it in 1959. And the real yard had a tunnel entrance right there at the entrance. It would be just beyond the module. And that's why there's some telltales in this module to protect against a tunnel that doesn't exist here at this layout. But I use this yard as well as my staging yard. I use them on my home layout as well. So I'll just walk down here now. That's Tom Crisfield, our ops chief. And ops got running about an hour ago, so I'm sure his head is swimming right now. The warehouses, walking down the end of 7th Street Yard to the big freight house, uncompressed 500-foot long freight house that was raised in the 1980s. But at one time, this was a really busy place on the Sioux Line. So that's it. I hope you liked it. And signing out from Duluth. Until next time, Bob Sterner, Minnesota Free Mow Modelers. Bye.